Hey MDs, so Pat and the VPs asked me to do a video on just kind of walking through on how to utilize some features called breakout rooms that actually you have through Zoom. And so I'm going to go through how to set it up, how to utilize it, and just give you some tips on that stuff here. So let me go ahead and jump on into where to find it, how to set it up. So just so you know, you got to do this actually online. So you can't do this through just the app that you have. But you got to be able to get in online, and the other part is you have to have at least a pro account. So you can't, you won't get access to these breakout features if you have the free account. I know Chris Hart just did a video on how to do all that stuff and set it up. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go watch that video. Great video. But once you have that set up and you have your pro account set up, this is what you would go through next. So you have to go through settings. Okay, so once you click on settings, what you're looking for is something called breakout rooms. And where you'll find that is if you scroll down, it's actually right here in the in-meeting advanced section. Okay, so right here at the top, you'll see breakout rooms. Now, when you first create your account with Zoom and you have your pro account set up, this specific breakout feature isn't already on yet. So you have to go into your settings, you have to go and find it, and you have to activate it. Now, once you've activated it and you turned it on, I'm going to go back to Zoom now, and I'll show you where you can find it. But now, as you see here on the bottom, it'll say breakout rooms. And so if you click on it, what this breakout room allows you to do is just think about like a typical Tuesday and Saturday where you have FaceTime, and then you have somebody breaking the floor, and then you have guests going into one room where there's an overview, and you have training going on in another room, right, with hosting and trainers. Maybe you'll do a breakout. So it still gives you that ability to have that sort of separation using these breakout rooms. And so what you would do is you would click on it, okay? And as it pops up, here's something that you want to just look at is where it says assign two participants into how many rooms. So this is where you're setting up how many breakout rooms do you want to have available. And so you can create as many as you want. So let's just say we did 30. We wanted 30 rooms that we had access to that were available. Now what you want to do is you want to click on manually. So you want to be able to manually just assign people, move people around on your end as the primary host. Okay, so I'm orchestrating things on my end manually. You want to be able to do that stuff. So once you create rooms, so let's just create it. Okay, you'll get like this list here of just all of the rooms, all the breakout rooms. So here you'll see breakout room 30. So we have 30 rooms right here that are set up for us to use during this session. So we use one link for guests, one link for associates. It simplifies the process on both ends. Everybody comes into this main room here that you see. You see people on the top. You see me in here. This is like the main room. Okay, and so what happens is when guests come on and associates come on, what we wanted to be able to do is to break associates out into training, break them out into doing whatever it is that they're doing with hosting and things like that. But that's where now this breakout room allows us to create that separation for viewing to happen with guests and for training to still be happening in some other area. And so what you can do here is you can just rename it. So let's just say we call this training. Okay, so that's with all of our associates. Maybe you want to set up in ABC's room for new associates, and then maybe you want to just do individual RIs or interviews, and we just say like office 1 or interview room 1 or RI 1, whatever, however you want to label these things, whatever you want to be able to use these breakout rooms for, you can create them, label them however you decide you want to do it. Okay, so now what we're looking at is now we are, boom, boom. Okay, here we go. So what we want to do now is we want to assign people into these breakout rooms. So let's just say, we have Diana Joe. She's a guest here with us. Okay, and then we have the PHP associate. What we want to do is we want to assign that PHP associate now in this main room where the overview is happening. We want to be able to move them into a training room for hosting and all that stuff to happen. So what you would click on is assign, and you'll get a list of all of the people that are tuned in right now to this Zoom link. Okay, so what I would click on is I click on PHP Associate. Okay, and you'll see their name here. And you can click on as many people as you want. If you wanted to click on everybody, you can. But just for this example, let's say I want to take this PHP Associate out of the BOM room where the overview is happening, and I want them to be in a training room for them to get value and learn as well. So once I assign it here, what I can do then is I can open up all the rooms. Now, just so you know, when you click on Open All Rooms, guests and associates, okay, when assigning them and moving them around, they're going to receive on their screen, it'll say, you know, host is requesting you to move to X breakout room, you know, and all they have to do is click join, and then they'll move to whatever assigned room that you have assigned them to. So when I open this, here's what's going to happen. The training associate is going to receive something like this, just to kind of give you an example. Okay, so it'll be, right now it says the host is inviting you to join breakout room training. Okay, so the trainee has to click join, and what you'll see is the associate will then leave, and he pops up here. So he's in the training room with all the other associates. He's in there. Green means he's active. He's in there. Okay, and when I pull this up as far as participants, you'll see that Diana, the guest, is still here with me in this main session in our overview. Okay, so you're going through BOM, the trainee is getting trained. Now let's just fast forward to the end. Okay, now let's just say, hey, Diana's a guest, and I want to get her matched up with a trainer in another breakout room for them to go through one-on-one interviews. Okay, without closing, so you don't have to close all these rooms to reassign. You can actually reassign as these breakout rooms are already happening. So while training is going on, I can take this associate and reassign them to another room. So let's just say I want to put them in Office 1. Okay? So the associate's going to get moved to another breakout, and you can see that, hey, the associate is now in Office 1. And so what I can do is I can assign Diana to Office 1 as well. Okay, and she's going to have to click join on her end, which she's doing right now. And that's why you see now it's green. So in this thing of office, in this breakout room, you only have the trainee associate, or the associate, and the guest, and they're sitting, you know, face to face in a separate breakout webinar, just one-on-one, where they can conduct, you know, the training program and go through the interview just like if we did in the office. You know, instead of having the assistant take guests and direct them to an associate in an office, you know, here in the office, it's just through a virtual webinar. And so you can use this for those type of things while training is still going on. Okay, so training is still happening with all the other associates, and I can use all these breakout rooms to assign as many guests and match them up with as many trainers for closing opportunities as well. So I wanted to give you guys some stuff here. Hopefully you guys got some value. Now let's go take this and let's go recruit the world and have the biggest recruiting month ever. Glad you guys got some value. Take care, guys.